I asked Rebecca quietly, "Do you love him?" She blinked, confused. "Who?" she asked. I said, "Patrick." And the moment the name left my lips, everything changed. The silence that followed was deafening, louder than any admission could have been. Even the hum of the fridge, the soft ticking of the clock, the distant rumble of the storm outside seemed to vanish, leaving only her uneven breath, caught between guilt and fear. When she didn't answer, I knew. I didn't yell or move. I just watched her eyes dart nervously, searching for a way out. Finally, she muttered almost too quietly, "Why would you ask that?" "Because you've already told me," I said, not with words, but through the countless hints she had left, the lingering glances, the delayed replies, the faint smiles that appeared whenever his name came up. I stayed silent, letting the weight of it crush the walls of deceit she'd built. Her hands shook as she lifted her wine glass. "You're imagining things, Daniel. Patrick's your friend," she said. I corrected her. He was my friend. That single word caused her tension to spike more than the accusation itself. The first tiny cracks had appeared weeks ago. Eights held too long. Texts she shielded from view. But I'd convinced myself it was paranoia, jealousy, gnawing at the trust we'd built over years. But truth doesn't scream. It whispers patiently until it can no longer be ignored. The night I realized everything, Patrick had joined us for dinner. Rebecca had been radiant, in a red dress I hadn't seen in years, brushing past me to greet him with a smile, too warm, too familiar. When he complimented her cooking, she blushed. When I did, she barely looked up. That night, I began noticing the patterns. Phone buzzing late at night, sudden evening walks, laughter in the hallway when she thought I was asleep. Every small, unguarded moment unraveling the facade of normalcy. And now, as the storm outside battered the windows, I asked softly, "How long?" Her face drained of color. "I don't know what you mean," she said. "Rebecca, don't make me drag it out of you," I said quietly. She stared at me, tears threatening to spill, before whispering, "It just happened. I didn't mean for it." I let out a bitter laugh, just as they all say, like, love is something you stumble into by accident. She looked at me then, not with guilt, not with anger, but with pity. "You've been so distant, Daniel. Always working. Always tired." "I was lonely," she said. Her words cut deeper than betrayal itself. I repeated them in disbelief. Lonely. I had been working for us, for our life, for our home. "I didn't want to hurt you," she tried to explain. "But you did," I said, my voice low and steady. "Every day you lied. Every time you smiled knowing your heart was elsewhere." She cried then, and part of me wanted to comfort her, the part of me still tethered to habit. But I held my ground, gripping the edge of the table to stop myself from shaking. "When did it start?" She hesitated. "After the company party," she admitted, 6 months of deception. 6 months of her slipping away while I remained blind. I could see it all, the gradual withdrawal, the sudden interest in clothes, the humming while texting, each piece falling into place like a puzzle I was too trusting to solve. "Did you love him?" I asked again. Softer, her lip quivered. "I don't know, but I did." That pause told me everything. She stood, hugging herself. "It's over now. We ended it." I shook my head. "No, you ended us." Outside, the storm had intensified, thunder rolling in the distance. She turned her back, dabbing at her face. "What will you do?" I didn't know. Rage and grief collided inside me, each indistinguishable from the other. Part of me wanted to confront Patrick. Part of me wanted to vanish. Instead, I grabbed my keys. "I need air." She reached for me. "Daniel, please don't do anything rash." I hesitated, almost taking her hand, then pulled back. Too late. The drive was a blur of rain-slicked streets. I found myself outside Patrick's apartment, my stomach twisting as I watched shadows move behind the curtains. Then the lights went out. I could have confronted them, demanded answers. But the truth was already there. What I despised most wasn't Patrick. It was the version of myself that trusted blindly, loved completely, ignored the warning signs. I drove until the storm cleared, stopping at the old pier where Rebecca and I had once dreamed of the future. The water mirrored the faint moonlight, calm now. I remembered her laughter, the way her hand fit mine. The promises we made, promises only as strong as those who keep them. At home, the house was silent. She slept on the couch under a blanket, peaceful and innocent. Almost as if nothing had changed until I remembered everything had. I took off my wedding ring, setting it on the coffee table with a soft clink, the sound marking the end of something. Sacred in the morning, I packed a bag. She woke as I left. "Where are you going?" she asked groggily. "Somewhere you can't follow," I said, her eyes filled with tears. "Please, we can fix this." I paused at the door. "You can't fix what died while you were pretending to keep it alive." And then I walked out. Air was crisp, scented with rain and earth. And for the first time in months, I felt a flicker of peace, not forgiveness. But the kind that comes after devastation, when nothing is left to lose and nothing left to hide. As I drove away, I realized I had already found closure the moment she froze.